Now to Oman, where top Iranian and American officials are meeting in the capital for talks on Tehran's nuclear program. The last round of negotiations before Israel launched 12 days of war against Iran back in June was also held in Oman. The talks come as the U.S. has built up a sizable military force in the region. While details remain scarce on the scope of the discussions, Iran has said it will defend itself against any excessive demands or adventurism by the United States. For more on this, we can cross to our Tehran correspondent, Reza Sayah. Reza, what more can you tell us about the talks from Tehran's point of view?
Yeah, obviously, a lot of Iranians here in Tehran and elsewhere eager, anxious to find out what happened with these talks. We have some details. Let's tell you what we know. We do know that for the first time since June of last year, Washington and Tehran met for indirect negotiations in Muscat, Oman. Again, these weren't face to face negotiations, these were indirect negotiations where in one location, you had representatives from Washington led by Steve Witkoff. He is the U.S. envoy to West Asia. Jared Kushner, the U.S. President Donald Trump's son in law, also present. In another location, you had the Iranian delegation led by Iranian Foreign Minister Ali Abbas Araghchi. Oman's foreign minister, Badr al Busaidi, serving as intermediary. In other words, he was shuttling messages back and forth between these two delegations. We know that he met at least twice with the Iranian delegation, at least once with the American delegations. What was discussed, what was negotiated is not clear. Of course, the agenda was a topic of debate, contested intensely going into these meetings. Washington demanding to talk about not just Iran's nuclear program, but its missile program, its ties to regional proxies. And in recent weeks, Washington says it wanted to talk about Iran's human rights record as well. Tehran said all we're going to talk about is the nuclear program, and they reiterated that they have a right to a peaceful nuclear program, right to enrich uranium, and in a deal they wanted sanctions lifted. So it's not clear if any of those issues were discussed. However, in a tweet by the Omani foreign minister, uh, we get a suggestion that maybe the bar for these negotiations were set low intentionally. In that tweet, Al Busaidi said that these talks were designed to create and prepare an appropriate circumstances for negotiations. So that just suggests that maybe, perhaps, these talks were designed to cool tensions, to ease tensions and hostilities, to get these two sides to look forward to maybe subsequent meetings. But we'll see.
Now, Reza, what do you think happens next?
Well, I think what happens next, a lot of people are eager to see the tone of the rhetoric coming out of these meetings. Are hostilities going to be eased? Is there going to be more chest thumping? Is there going to be a second a meeting, second round of talk? Obviously, that's going to be very key and a sign that the negotiations, at least for now, have succeeded to ease hostilities. Obviously, and this all of this comes against the backdrop of the U.S. bolstering its forces in the region, threats of attack, and Iran saying that if there's an attack, that they're going to respond aggressively, and there's going to be regional war. These talks today perhaps have eased tensions a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see what the rhetoric is coming out of Oman today.
Reza, thank you so much for keeping us updated. That's France 24's Reza Sayah there in Tehran.